Hello, and welcome to Q's on the Move. My name is Brother Joel Leigh Jr. I am the Vice Basileus of Munu Chapter, also known as the Vice President of Munu Chapter of Omega Psi Phi Fraternity Incorporated. Today's podcast will focus on the great work that Munu Chapter is doing in Montgomery County, Maryland, particularly in the 2nd District. Before we begin tonight's podcast, I would like to take a few minutes to just give a brief overview of Munu Chapter, a graduate chapter of Omega Psi Phi Fraternity Incorporated, located in Montgomery County, Maryland, chartered in 1971. Munu has over 54 years serving students and families in Montgomery County, Maryland, home to the 16th, the 34th, and the 37th Omega Psi Phi Fraternity 2nd District representatives. Munu Chapter is a graduate chapter of Omega Psi Phi Fraternity Incorporated with approximately 130 active members on their roster. Our chapter focuses on social actions, mentoring, health and wellness, political actions, and fundraising for scholarships. Munu Chapter's mentoring program will be one of our first segments. And so let's go ahead and begin with our first segment. Today's first podcast segment is about Omega Psi Phi Fraternity Incorporated, particularly our Fatherhood Initiative and Mentoring Program, created by Brother Donald Williams, the 2nd District Fatherhood Initiative and Mentoring Committee Chairman. He wants to encourage all the 2nd District chapters of Omega Psi Phi Fraternity Incorporated to be intentional about developing in-person and virtual programs aimed at mentoring young people and helping men become better fathers. We would like to welcome this evening Brother Jason Miller. He was our previous Social Actions Chairman for Munu Chapter. Thank you for joining us this evening, Brother Miller. Let's get right into the conversation here. Now, due to COVID-19 pandemic, which everyone hated, it was a miserable time. Many organizations had been trying to restart their after-school, Saturday school programs, mentoring programs. However, Munu Chapter Bridge Builder Mentoring Program has utilized virtual tools such as Zoom to continue its mentoring of youth, of young people. Just kind of briefly talk about the Bridge Builder Mentoring Program and the impact the program is having on young people in Montgomery County, Maryland.
Thank you, Brother Leigh. Very, very appreciative to be here. The Bridge Builder Mentoring Program, as you said, it's that 6th day of mentorship. They go through 5 days of school where they learn a lot, but they are expected to have these social skills and be able to exude these social skills in their community and their society, but sometimes they don't have them. And when you come to our Bridge Builder Mentoring Program, they're getting these social, emotional learning and these life skills that are so very vital to our existence. And so with the Bridge Builder Program, we operate every other Saturday from the beginning of the school year to the end of the school year. And when the pandemic, so we were in person twice a month. And when the pandemic came about, Brother Basileus, Brother President, and I had to pivot. And so we went virtual with the program. And then that allowed us to reach out to more of the county and more students because, of course, everybody can click on the link and be there instead of having to be there in person. So with this, we took the entire program and we went virtual. And it's been an amazing turnout. Again, we're just reaching more students, and being able to just impact our community, Montgomery County area, and students outside of the Montgomery County area. It's a wonderful experience.
So I think I heard you said that your mentoring sessions take place every other Saturday. Is that correct?
That is correct. Every other Saturday.
Okay. And so how do you keep the students engaged in learning? Talk about that.
Well, that's very good. So our lessons, our sessions are very interactive. It's not where as teachers, we call it sit and get, where you just sit there and talk to the students for the entire, hour. they're interacting and they're communicating and they're coming on the microphone to communicate and give their responses. And one of the biggest things is we know that the higher the education, the more it pays. So we talk about that, and we have a incentive system, a token system, to where students answer these questions, and the more elaborate answer they give, they're able to win, different kinds of gift cards, attendance raffles as well, different things to engage our students and make sure it's not just, we're going to sit here and talk to you for an hour. It's very, a fluid, interaction, collaboration with our students to get them engaged and just fully engulfed in the lessons that we provide. And the lessons themselves create this kind of drive or this driven interest that we try to get our students to, get engaged with. So when they start to, communicate, and they're looking at these different things, especially the brothers that come on and they're seeing people of their, men of color in these, prominent positions, it just kind of fuels them into the next part aspects of their lives, so that they want to aspire to do the same.
Wow, that's a good point. Briefly talk about what are some of the benefits for students joining and consistently attending the educational program session.
Outstanding. So again, one thing, growing up, I know myself, it was very hard. You didn't see, people of color, especially strong men of color, in certain positions that you were involved in, lawyers, doctors, scientists, just these prominent positions. But as you come into the mentoring program, you're getting that times 10, times 20, because the brothers that are joining these calls, or the mentors that are joining these calls with these young men, are in these fields, and they are prominent Black men who are strong role models in the community and provides a lot of service work as well within the community. So these students see that, and now they have something, like I said, to aspire towards. And now they're like, well, I met this brother, or I met, such and such and such who works for NASA, or I met such and such who was a mechanical engineer, or I met such and such who's an environmental engineer, or this different field that I want to go into. Now we can bridge that gap, and we can have that mentorship, that one-on-one mentorship from that brother to that student, to where now it's, hey, let's go, let me show you, let me guide you on the path, instead of having to go out and find it yourselves. It really does bridge that gap between where students want or need to be and where they are right now.
Oh, that's awesome, man. It sounds like a pretty good program, and you're really reaching a lot of young folks, especially people of color. Share how the students can join this efficacious program.
Yes. So we reach out to different schools. Right now, we're probably through in contact with probably about 10 schools in the Montgomery County area, and we just send the information out. But you can reach me at jason.miller, that's JASON.Miller, MILLER 0587 at gmail.com, and I can send all of the information out. I can at any point in time.
Wow, this is awesome information. Well, I want to thank you for taking the time just to share the important works of mentoring our youth with our podcast, our podcast listeners this evening. I want to wish you continued success with your mentoring program at MUNU chapter in Montgomery County, Maryland. Thank you, Brother Jason Miller.
No, thank you, Brother Vice Basileus.
Okay, moving into our next segment. For our next podcast segment, we'll be speaking with Brother Jermaine Cooper. He is currently the chairman of MUNU chapter's Social Actions Committee. And this committee does a lot of great work. And it does it throughout Montgomery County, Maryland. So let's welcome Brother Jermaine Cooper. Brother Cooper, welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for having me, man. I'm very excited tonight to speak to you and to talk to you about social action. It's something I'm very passionate about. And to be honest with you, I am fortunate to have surrounded myself with brothers who are also passionate about it. So this is something I'm very much looking forward to talking about tonight.
Excellent. Let's jump right into it. So, Brother Cooper, tell our listeners this evening a little bit about the purpose of MUNU chapter's social actions program?
So, Brother Vice Boss, as I'm telling you, the purpose is quite simple. It's to serve our community. And we do that through a series of planned and ad hoc activities designed to build up members of our community through our giving, our sharing of our time, our teaching and mentoring, and our working diligently to focus on the greatest needs of our community.
Wow, that's awesome. Tell us also, so what service project has members of Munu chapter been involved in over the past few years or so?
So actually, we've been involved in a lot of service projects, and with some of them being, well, not limited to, our Toy Drive that I'm going to talk about a little bit later on, MLK Day of Service. Also, I'm going to mention that a little bit later on. Provision of much needed goods and services to our homeless community, education and mentoring of our school age youth within the county, as well as working alongside most notable organizations such as the American Diabetes Association and the March of Dimes. In addition to that, we lend our support to other organizations and chapters within the second district to also support their efforts in their community. Again, we're all in one district. It's all in the state of Maryland here for us. And again, I think I can speak for the rest of the members in the chapter that we take supporting one another very, very seriously. And I'm honored to say that when it comes to how we show up and support, you can't ask for a better group of men to work alongside doing this.
Wow. I heard you mention the district, but you only mentioned Maryland. Are there other states or stuff?
Oh yeah, it's other states, but specifically we work with, we have traveled throughout the district, up to New York and stuff and so forth, and kind of work with other states within our district. However, here within the Montgomery County area, we kind of work alongside those other chapters that are close to ours and kind of partner with them as well. The Tall Pie chapter or, Alpha Lambda Lambda chapter. We often support their activities as well, just to make sure they understand that we have their support just like they give us theirs.
That is awesome. Tell us about what is the most rewarding thing about participating in community service projects?
So, Brother Leigh, now you're touching my heart right here, because to be honest with you, like I said a little bit earlier, it is an honor to work alongside men that when they're called upon and they're called into action for any type of our social action activities, we come out in full force. And to actually be able to see the fruits of your labor, to know that your efforts are worthwhile, and to see the results of that, in some cases quite instantly, it's a blessing. It's an absolute blessing. And then again, you're not doing this with that same feeling and passion by yourself. You are literally hand in hand with brothers who have that same passion about making sure that they service their community as well. So it's a feeling that can be indescribable to some, especially those of us who came from humble beginnings, to know what it's like to not have certain things and be in the position, thank God, to give back to your community. And again, to do it with brothers who share that same enthusiasm.
Awesome. Thank you, Brother Cooper, for providing us with that information about the purpose of Munu Chapter Social Action Program. Let's kind of switch gears up a little bit and talk about the community service work of the Brothers of Munu Chapter, the Social Action Committee, and also just doing with the Housing Opportunities Commission of Montgomery County, based out of Albany, Maryland. What is the purpose of the annual Toys for Tots and Teens Drive?
So the purpose of that drive is to literally make sure that the youth in our community have the opportunity to really enjoy the holidays. And I know the holidays aren't all about toys and what you're going to get from a materialistic point of view, but let's be clear that children don't live in the same world as adults in terms of how they view the holidays. And this actual program allows us the opportunity to help some of those children who may not have the same opportunities to receive the same number of toys and things of that nature every year. We give them that opportunity. They can actually show up and know they're taking something home that they're going to open up on Christmas morning and play with. And it also alleviates the pressure on the parents to have to try to come up with the money to buy some of these toys sometimes. And I'm quite proud to say that our turnout has been increasing in droves over the past couple of years. It's really been outstanding to watch.
Wow. So what is the name of the organization that Munu Chapter partners with? To
right.
Make sure that needy families have toys. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, right. So it's the Housing Opportunity Commission that you mentioned earlier. And again, they help us to identify, certain neighborhoods that we've been working with, quite frankly, for the past 2 years up in Albany, Maryland. Certain families that could greatly benefit from the donation of those toys.
Wow. So how do families of the HOC respond to like UNU chapter's efforts to provide toys and for tots and for teens for each holiday season?
So, Brother Leigh, the response, like I said, the last couple of years, it's been growing. The response is great. You should see the enthusiasm of the families when they're there, and it feels like you're in one big family. I mean, when we show up there, people are walking around, conversing, talking, getting to know the community. It's not just there to donate toys or spend time getting to know the people in that community. Again, it's a joy to watch, parents see their children's faces light up when they realize that, they're going to be getting something to give them on Christmas morning or whatever holiday they may celebrate in that particular day. But again, the response is tremendous, man. Again, like I said, the parents, the enthusiasm, even the enthusiasm of the staff at the apartment complex we're working with, they're excited to see us every year. I mean, they're shoulder to shoulder with us, setting things up, getting things prepared for the families and the children. So overall, man, the response is just tremendous.
Wow. So are you like a one-man show? If not, do you have like a big committee?
No, Brother Leigh, I'm not a one-man show, and I am quite proud that the brothers of the UNU chapter are tremendous givers. You couldn't ask for more. I mean, to the point where, we have truckloads of these toys showing up, and children aren't just relegated to one toy here or one toy there. They're taking toys, plural, home from there because of the generous giving of our brothers, man. I can't speak more highly of how proud I am to serve with brothers who just have such giving hearts and in all facets of social action.
Wow. Again, Brother Cooper, I just want to thank you for providing us the important update about the ongoing work with the Brothers of UNU chapter and what they are doing to make the holidays a little brighter for families within Montgomery County, Maryland. Let's transition our final topic from UNU Social Action Program. Let's talk about the annual MLK Day of Service, which was held on Monday, January 15th at the Silver Spring Civic Center. Brother Cooper, what does MLK Day service mean to you?
Well, to us, it means that we're actually able to honor one of our African-American heroes who actually gave his life for equality and the uplift of our community. So be able to kind of in his name, in his honor, come together with other members of our community to kind of pull together different projects designed to better strengthen and enrich our community. It's quite a blessing. I mean, you have everything there from blood drives to toy drives to supplies for various organizations in need. Independent activities. I think they were making quilts and blankets for certain organizations as well. So it's a various number of things that go on that particular day. But for us, it's just being able to participate and again, strongly participate, working alongside the MCAC the Montgomery County Alumni Committee of the Alumni Chapter of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority.
Got you. Just quickly, because we want to move time. Just name a couple of the service projects that the Brothers of UNU chapter organized on MLK Day, sir.
Oh, absolutely. So there was two main projects that we did, are really great and outstanding projects. For one, we collected much needed toiletries for a particular homeless shelter within the Montgomery County. And we were actually fortunate enough to collect 48 containers of, things like shampoo, deodorant, toothpaste, mouthwash, toilet paper, paper towels. Just think combs, brushes, just things that people don't really think about that you need on a daily basis. But those are things that can be quite expensive if left to certain organizations to purchase them on their own. So for us to provide them were great. The second thing that we did was actually do a food collection for Shepherd's Table Homeless Shelter in downtown Silver Spring. Again, even though they receive donations time to time, you can't put a price tag on being able to just provide things that you don't think you need. Things like coffee and perishable items that we take for granted from a day-to-day basis.
Got you. Wow, this sounds like an awesome program. I want to thank you, Brother Cooper, for providing the important update regarding the MLK Day service. I just want to commend you on your great work. Keep on pressing on, doing Omega's great work. But thank you again, Brother Cooper.
Thank you, Brother Leigh. Appreciate it.
All right. At this time, we're going to move on to our next segment. At this time, let's transition quickly. We have the Montgomery County Public Schools 15th annual HBCU College Fair, which takes place on Friday, February 16th. One of the highlights of the HBCU College Fair is the HBCU Divine Nine panel discussion. We would like at this time to welcome the current president, or what we call our Basileus, of MUNU chapter, Dr. Lorenzo Perlman, to provide more detail on this event. Welcome, Dr. Perlman. How are you doing today?
Hey, outstanding, Brother Vice Bosses. Thank you for having me on this evening to talk a little bit about the Divine Nine panel discussion.
Excellent. So, Dr. Perlman, let's jump right into it. Tell us about the 15th annual Montgomery County Public Schools HBCU College Fair.
All right. Well, the MCPS HBCU College Fair is really about bringing students from across the county together to really consider joining and attending the HBCU. And we have a lot of different workshops there for students to gain a lot of important information about college, financial aid workshops. We have, of course, the Divine Nine panel discussion where students and parents get to learn a little bit about college life and what it means to be a member of an HBCU. And so it really is a time where our young people can really get a feel for what institution they want to attend in the future.
Wow. Dr. Perlman, I heard so many positive comments about the HBCU panel discussion. Tell our listeners about the purpose of the Divine Nine panel discussion.
Yeah, I mean, the Divine Nine panel discussion is really about helping students understand, what HBCU life is about, right? Because every campus, every institution, has its own culture. And so we want to make sure students understand the importance of the culture of it, when they attend an HBCU and how that culture can really help a student achieve all of its goals, that they want to do academically with the support that an HBCU provides to, and a lot of times, first generation college students. I think that's what really separates HBCUs from other institutions, is that they really take those first generation students and they mold them into being successful professionals.
So, how will MUNU chapter specifically be involved in this HBCU Divine Nine panel discussion?
Yeah, so MUNU chapter will be sponsoring the Divine Nine panel discussion, and we will be gathering all members of the Divine Nine in Montgomery County to come on out. We have two sessions. On Friday, February 16th. We have one session from 5:45 to 7 o'clock at the universities at Shady Grove. And then we have a second session from 7:15 to 8:30 at the universities of Shady Grove, Building 4 and the auditorium. And so it's going to be an outstanding event. We're going to have some step teams from the various local universities stepping for the general public. So this is something that you do not want to miss.
This sounds exciting. I can't wait to actually be involved in this. In the previous years, there has been a lot of attention given to just HBCUs and particularly the NBA All-Star Game. How can our listeners assist MUNU chapter with raising funds to support our HBCUs?
Yeah, so there's different organizations out there, but in particular for MUNU chapter, we have our own Rudolph W. Snow Memorial Scholarship Fund, and you can go to their website, Rudolph W. Snow Memorial Scholarship Fund. Just type it in Google search, and you can make any donation that you would like to support many of our students in Montgomery County, particularly students of color who are looking to attend an HBCU.
Wow. Again, thank you, Dr. Perlman, for just providing that important update about our HBCU Divine Nine panel discussion. Let's quickly transition into just our final segment of the night, which focuses on our MUNU chapter's foundation work. Our MUNU chapter's foundation raises money each year to support the great service work for the chapter, and that it does throughout Montgomery County, Maryland. One of the main fundraising events for the foundation is the annual Mardi Gras fundraiser. The Mardi Gras event is back again, I heard, in 2024. And it's ready to invite supporters of the MUNU chapter back to a great fundraising experience. Our chairman, Brother Brian Mahone, he could not make it tonight, but sitting in his stead, we for our fundraising chair is our very own Dr. Perlman, again, who is the current bossless or president of MUNU chapter. Dr. Perlman, can you just provide our podcast listeners with the purpose? What's the purpose and objective of our annual Mardi Gras fundraiser?
Yes. So for our MUNU chapter, our annual Mardi Gras fundraiser, this is our premier fundraising event in which we use the funds from this event to support all of our social action programs. So there's no other event that you will want to be at besides the MUNU Mardi Gras. I will say personally, this is the best fundraising event and the best party in the DMV.
For sure. I heard so much about that, and I have attended a couple myself. But tell our listeners, when and where will the 2024 Mardi Gras fundraising event be held?
Yeah, so the 2024 Mardi Gras fundraising event for MUNU chapter will be held at Martin's Crosswinds in Greenbelt, Maryland on March 8th from 8:30 to 1:30 a.m. And so for those who are looking to purchase tickets for this event, you just want to go to MUNUMardigras.org. So that's MUNU Mardi Gras, MARDIGRAS.org. And so you can purchase your fundraising tickets there. You can purchase individual tickets, or you can purchase tickets by table as well.
What's the cost for the event?
The cost for the event is $130 for general admission and $165 for VIP.
Wow. And how will the monetary funds raised for the event be used by the MUNU Foundation?
So the money that we raise for the Mardi Gras event, again, they will go to fund many of our programs, such as our MUNU Talent Hunt program, far as our many different social action programs like our Bridge Builder Mentor program, and most importantly, the Achievement Week Scholarship Program.
Just a quick bit. What can the patrons look forward to in this upcoming 2024 Mardi Gras annual fundraiser?
Well, I can tell you is nothing better than the Chuck Brown Band. So if you're from the DMV, it doesn't get any better than Chuck Brown Band. So in DJ Trini, so we have a party. It's a party with a purpose. A party with a purpose. And so we look forward to seeing all of our podcast listeners there on March 8th, 2024 at Martin's Crosswinds.
Wind me up, Chuck. All right. Well, we want to thank you, Dr. Perlman, for sharing on MUNU chapter's premier fundraising event. We look forward to seeing all of the MUNU chapter supporters in attendance for this event. We'll now move on to just sharing just some information on upcoming podcast topics for our next event, which is going to be Tuesday, February 27th. The upcoming Cues on the Move podcast for Tuesday, February 27th, will highlight the following programs. The George B. Thomas Senior Learning Academy Saturday School, which is located in Montgomery County, Maryland, and work that the organization is doing to support Montgomery County Public Schools. We also want to highlight Rudolph W. Snowden Memorial Scholarship Fund and its board members. They share the work of the foundation and its efforts to support students' educational aspirations of attending a historical Black college and university. Also want to point out another topic will be Omega Psi Phi Fraternity Inc. 2024 Talent Hunt Program, hosted by the Brothers of MUNU chapter located in Montgomery County, Maryland. And finally, we're also going to talk about the Omega Psi Phi Fraternity Inc. Game Changers Conference of Young Males, hosted by MUNU chapter of Montgomery County, Maryland. You don't want to miss these events. So just a few last minute remarks to our viewers here. Thank you for joining the podcast segment of Cues on the Move. The next Cues on the Move podcast, again, will be Tuesday, February 27th at 8 p.m. Don't miss it. Be there. I'd like to share with you this evening these final words. As we conclude our podcast segment this evening, please keep in mind everything Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. fought and died for in the past week. Fought for and died for to create a more tolerant America. Do not let the events of the past week distract you from the ongoing push towards achieving everlasting equality for all groups of people who are not always treated as equal in America. Until next time, be the change you wish to see in the world. Be safe and have a great evening.